The Millennial Gaze.
Hey, what's good, you guys? What's good? What's good? What's good? It's your girl Maymoney here for a late night sideshow episode. So, in case you haven't noticed, I have changed the name of Maymoney's apartment studio to Maymoney Sideshow. So, that will be the name of the show if ever I come on here like this, very impromptu, just trying to kick it with y'all, and talk about a little bit. That's a new name. So I hope you enjoy it. It actually sideshow just makes a lot more sense for me anyway. So anywho, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. I won't be here long. I'm gonna try to keep it to as long as this blunt goes. And so if you're here, great. If you're not, please make sure to share and post. I just found it easier to, instead of recording videos, just to go live and then you can use them later. So, and I like the authenticity as well. And if I want to kind of hang around, I can still do that, right? So, anywho, like, comment, share, subscribe. So tonight, we're gonna be talking about some gayness, some unhinged gayness. So there's something that I stumbled upon today. And this isn't the first time I've stumbled upon this sort of rhetoric and sentiment, especially when it comes to MAGA. But we'll just go ahead and kind of get into it. But what I'm trying to say is that I do see a lot of pent up sexuality, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's like, I don't know if it's a man thing or it's aiming towards it being a man thing, but I don't know if it's that or if it's, I don't know what the fuck it is. Honestly, it's a weird human thing that's going on with a lot of men. I guess I could say that. And so let's go ahead and just get into this because I found this to be quite interesting. But I'll let our homie from the Humanist Report start up the conversation first, and then I'll tap back in with y'all in just a little bit. But I just think it might be better if if I just let him go first. You feel me? You feel me? All right. Can y'all see that? Oh, I didn't add it to the stage. There we go. 1 second. Let me just make sure that I got everything set up. All right. Please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. We chilling. But I thought this was so interesting. So have fun. Okay? Jeez, now I gotta get it to press play.
Right-wing media ecosystem. You've got anti-Israel conservatives like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens at war with pro-Israel conservatives like Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro. And on the subject of Candace Owens, she's also at war with Tim Pool and Turning Point USA. You've got Groypers targeting Matt Walsh and Michael Knowles for their association with Ben Shapiro, who they don't like because he's Jewish. You've got once prominent conservatives like Dave Rubin and Steven Crowder, barely relevant these days. There's also red pill influencers like Sneeko leaving the so-called manosphere, claiming it's not really about masculinity, it's insecurity projected into the camera. On top of that, there's been a plethora of cancellations too. You've got Alex Stein's Blaze TV show getting canceled, Dr. Phil's right-wing pivot imploding, Elijah Schaffer fled to El Salvador after getting sued by Kash Patel's girlfriend, and it seems like his show is barely hanging on by a thread. On top of that, new right-wing ventures like Her Take with Anna Kasparian already fell off thanks to egos and infighting and the abrupt exit of its main host, Jillian Michaels. There's also the Rogan sphere and just the podcast bro sphere in general, which lost a lot of relevance after they hitched their wagons to a fascist president whose approval rating is plummeting. Not to mention, multiple right wing influencers have been plagued with serious health complications that's inhibited their ability to steer discourse. You've got Dilbert's creator Scott Adams suffering from prostate cancer. Jordan Peterson spent a month in the ICU earlier this year with a whole host of health issues, and his daughter says that he's just not going to be returning for months. Supposed ex-gay Milo Yiannopoulos says that his doctor believes he has a brain tumor. Dennis Prager.
Sorry, I muted myself. Hold on. I don't know if y'all saw that about Milo, that Milo dude. He gay, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm not gay no more," or "Gay is everything. Gay is everybody's gay." And so, let's go ahead and look into that. We'll get there a little bit later, but Milo did say something about like not being gay anymore because everybody's gay. And so you can't be gay because everybody's gay. It was really weird. Please don't ask me to like wrap my head around it. But hey, this is why I'm doing this episode today. Because yeah, she's weird. So anywho. All right, so let's just continue with this. Let's just go ahead and continue.
Was paralyzed from the neck down back in November of 2024 and only made one public appearance this year, months ago, so he can scold Megyn Kelly for criticizing Israel. And I'm not a superstitious person, but if they started to question whether or not they were trapped in a conservative knockoff of a Final Destination movie, I wouldn't blame them. And of course, the right lost one of its most prominent voices in September when Charlie Kirk was violently murdered. And Turning Point USA just hasn't been relevant as much with Erica Kirk at the helm, and it's being attacked by prominent right-wingers like Candace Owens, who are claiming that they betrayed Charlie Kirk. Not to mention other right-wing organizations like Moms for Liberty, which were prominent a couple of years ago, have also faded into obscurity due to internal scandals and electoral losses. And going...
Hold up, let's pause on that one for sure. Y'all remember that Moms of Liberty? So one thing that I want to like kind of focus on during this little short kind of hangout kick it session is that like a lot of these ideologies come together and they really be about it. They be about it so fucking hard. You feel me? Like they just be about it so hard to the point that it's detrimental to themselves. It's detrimental to they can't see anything outside of it. It's really cult. It's really cult, you know? And so it's been interesting to kind of watch and observe the behavior of the way that and how people can really get, you know what I'm saying? Like how people can really get in our society just through I don't know, maybe social media. I don't know. I think there's a lot of variables that go with this sort of thing, but I do think that there are a lot of people that get led into a fucked up wormhole, you know? And so anywho, so let's keep going because we're gonna get into a little bit of what got me to even come back on after the show that me and Katie did earlier because this was a very interesting video that I saw.
as
Oh
the
my God, I
Nazis
didn't have it
currently.
added to the stage.
So the
I'm so
first
sorry.
prominent conservative going into 2026, who I think we're going to hear more from, is former World of Warcraft gamer turned right-wing commentator Asmongold, and he's newer. So if you've never heard of,
I'm so sorry about that, you guys. I did not even have the fucking video that I was watching. Ugh, on there. That is so annoying. It can be kind of difficult, so please forgive me. I'm gonna go ahead and rewind this back to what I was watching because I was just sitting there nodding, smoking a blunt. But yeah, it can be a little bit tricky when on one stream already even tells you that. I highly apologize for that, you guys. That was so fucked up. I'm just gonna start it from
seems
here.
like a
Let me
small
make sure that you
handful
can
of
see it.
niche Nazi and Nazi adjacent influencers will be the primary thought leaders in the right for the
Sorry
foreseeable
about that,
future,
guys.
unless somebody else who's not a Nazi rises to the same level of prominence as the Nazis currently. So, the first prominent conservative going into 2026, who I think we're going to hear more from, is former World of Warcraft gamer turned right wing commentator Asmongold, and he's newer. So, if you've never heard of him, allow me to give you a brief introduction.
The thing is, I used to use a dead rat as an alarm clock, actually, for my stream, because basically what happened was whenever the sun would come up, it would start cooking the corpse of the rat, and then it would start smelling again, and then the smell would wake me up. So I would use the rat effectively as an alarm clock, and as soon as it got hot enough, it would wake me up, and then I would know, oh shit, it's time to stream. Have you guys ever done that before?
No, I
No,
just
bitch.
else. And if
No,
you're
bitch.
intrigued,
No,
the
bitch.
Serfs did a deep dive into Asmongold so you can learn all about his interesting quirks, we'll call them. But the man you just watched is arguably the most influential right wing commentator on YouTube aside from Candace Owens. And I think that he rose to prominence because, as off putting as he may be to normies, his audience views him as authentic. And by that, I mean he doesn't try to feign respectability or self censor. He's a slob and doesn't pretend otherwise. And I think that a lot of young men who are lost right now, they see themselves in him. Most importantly, however, is the fact that Asmongold leans into his authoritarian and white supremacist views. He's echoed Nick Fuentes' call for the prosecution of the left. He's celebrated pro-Palestinian voices being censored, such as Mahmoud Khalil. And he's also referred to America as white people's land. So he's popular because he's feeding his audience unfiltered fascism and is thus able to scratch an itch that other commentators like Matt Walsh can't, because unlike his colleagues, Asmongold couldn't care less if he's welcomed into the broader conservative movement. He kind of just does his own thing and shits out his own thoughts that far-right extremists want to hear, and it's obviously working well for him. I kind of feel like he's a less ideological version of Nick Fuentes, but on the subject of Nick Fuentes, I'd say that he's probably the most influential and consequential right-winger.
Okay. So I do have something to say about this. And it's kind of hard to talk about, I think, a little bit, but basically, I'm starting to feel really, 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 really sad for men. Because when you got a rat smell waking you up every morning as your alarm clock, something is wrong, bro. Something is wrong. Something is loosed and disconnected. And the fact that you are out here talking about, hey, nobody else has a dead rat outside their window waking you up in the morning. Is it just me? Bruh. Not, not unless you're not living in a homeless shelter or something. I don't know. Like, I don't even think homeless people with the wits about them wake up, like use that as something as like their alarm clock. I don't really think that that's a thing. So um yeah, I don't think I'm gonna subscribe to that sort of conversation or rhetoric when you got dead rats as your alarm clock. I'm just not doing it. I'm just not doing it. But let's continue. because we're gonna go into the real meat of this. Because why I brought this conversation up was, and thanks so much everybody for being here. If you're here, I'm so grateful for you being here. You feel me? Anyway, but the reason why I brought this up is because these people are fucking gay. And they're like evil gay and hateful gay. They're not the gays that I know and I grow up with, and the ones that I love and dearly love and feel safe around and stuff. These are people that are like, I like to call them unhinged gays. We'll get to that later, but let's just go ahead and continue, right?
Going into 2025 in their whole media ecosystem, even though he's a lightning rod. And unlike Asmongold, he's learned to be able to hide the ball and kind of like keep his power level a secret and use more dog whistles more frequently in order to give himself plausible deniability and, more importantly, mainstream appeal. And it's worked like a fucking charm.
This is the quickest way to go from AI beginner to AI fluent in 2026. Watch this. Let's be real. Most people over 40 use ChatGPT like it's Google.
And that's really scary because he also happens to be a Holocaust-denying, Hitler-loving neo-Nazi. And at this moment, you know, he has the entire Republican Party by the balls. If they denounce him, then they get attacked by his Groyper army and lose support from a large portion of their base. But if they embrace him, they gain popularity at the expense of establishment respectability, which they're going to need if they want to secure support from the biggest right-wing donors if they want to run for president. And there's some overlap between him and alleged sex trafficker Andrew Tate, who is an openly misogynistic manosphere influencer who has his claws in a lot of men who just aren't successful with women. And rather than trying to get them to improve themselves, they're taught by Andrew Tate that it's actually the fault of women. In fact, women are to blame for everything. And Tate's creating a pipeline to far-right politics through influencers who also hold similar misogynistic views. For example, there's a lot of crossover between him and Nick Fuentes, whose audience consists of both incels and volcels, which is men who are voluntarily celibate. And over the last year, while other right-wing influencers started to lose relevance, these three influencers that I'm talking about have gained massive followings, in part because they're just not afraid to say the most extreme things that they can possibly think of. But the very thing that's leading to their prominence could one day be what makes them less relevant. And I say this because when you attract an...
Okay, so we're going to pause him right there because he is on to a few different things that I want to talk about. So, first of all, we have some weird shifts going on within men and their situation. I'm not a man, so I can't really comment on it because I don't like to be unfair and put my words into other people's mouth at all. But I also am very clear about being able to see people and being able to read people. And what I've been noticing is that I think that men are suffering right now deeply, under attack, especially white men. I think that there's an issue here. I really have been finding like the culture of men to be quite repulsive, dangerous in a lot of ways as well, and something that needs to be looked at, I guess you could say. And I do think that women need to take the step up, because men need a fucking break because they tripping. You feel me? So, hey, I'm a very understanding person, and when I see a group of people struggling, I'm gonna call you out and I'm gonna ask if you okay, and all those things. But I do think that we do need men to kind of look out for each other a little bit more. And the reason why I say this is because we're going to go ahead and check out this next little part of the video, okay? Like, comment, share, subscribe, you guys. Nah, but they're not. Oh, they're actually serious, bro. Oh my God. I ain't even gonna hold you. Being a woman in this time with all these evil gays is crazy. It really is. Oh my God, no, did I do it again? Did I do the thing again when I didn't have it up? I hope not. Okay, whatever. Actually, I think I was okay with that. Anyway, but what I will say is that these motherfuckers is gay as fuck, and they're dangerous gays. They're not good gays. I like my gays, but these gays are completely unhinged. They're scary. They don't know they're gay. Some of them do know they're gay, and they hate being gay, and so that makes them hate other gays. And then then some of them even try so hard as to go to convincing other people that aren't gay, closeted gays. Let's put that there. Closeted gays, to be closeted gays and to be repressed and to be hateful, and like, it's weird. I don't know. This ain't my shit. So like, if y'all know what the fuck is going on in this bitch, let me know. I might have to do some editing on this video, but whatever. It's all good. Let's keep it going.
Answer is no, and we're going to get to the underlying ideology here in a moment. But to be clear, Nick Fuentes hasn't just dabbled in this territory as well. He explicitly said the same fucking thing as Andrew Tate.
And when I said on Elijah Schaefer's show, and they said, "Have you ever been in a romantic relationship? Have you ever had sex with a girl?" And I said, "No."
This y'all homie right here.
If you name searched me on Twitter, as I always do, all these gay people are coming out and saying, "I've had more girlfriends than Nick. I've had sex with more girls than Nick." So like I said last week, not only is that thinking flawed, but actually it's the reverse. That actually makes me really more heterosexual than anybody.
This y'all homie?
If we're really being honest,
this is your
never
leader.
Having a girlfriend, never having sex with a woman really makes you more heterosexual, because honestly, dating women is gay. Having sex with women is gay. And having sex with men is gay. And it's all gay. And if you want to know the truth, the only really straight heterosexual position is to be an asexual incel.
So we've now reached the point where if you love your wife and you enjoy having sex with your wife and women in general, you're gay. According to some of the most prominent right-wing influencers in the country, who's going to be...
Nah, bruh. See. I don't even know what to tell you, bro. This shit is starting to get on my fucking nerves. I ain't gonna hold you. Because like men really think that they are the hottest shit that ever landed on planet Earth. Bitch, first of all, you're not landing on any Earth or any existence without a woman. Secondly, y'all are embarrassing yourselves at this point. This is embarrassing. The men are repulsive at this point. You're repulsive. No woman wants a man that thinks that they are alpha because of having, I can't even like grasp this in my mind. No woman wants a man that thinks that having sex with a woman is gay. But this is what y'all love, right? This is what we're supposed to, this is what we supposed to be attracted to right now. Is this foolery? What the fuck is wrong with y'all, bro? Like, okay, so all right, Nick Fuentes, and you unhinged closeted gay motherfuckers need to figure it out.
Dictating political discourse on the right for the foreseeable future. I just don't know how we got here, but we're here, and it's certainly something. Now, contrast that with the left. We're talking about public housing, healthcare, and U.S. imperialism. So needless to say...
before he gets into this, I want you guys to know one thing, that this is why I found this video interesting, because this goes all the way into fascist authoritarianism. Like Hitler and all these people were fucking gay as fuck, dude, and they have a weird demented way about their sexuality, and he explains it in the best way that I think I've ever been able to understand it. So I might run some of these clips a little long just because of he's explaining it. So just hang out. I hope you're having a good night. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I hope you're comfy and warm and safe and with family and friends during our holiday season. It just passed 11/11, so I hope you made your wish. Anyway, let's go. So yeah, this is interesting. This is where it gets really interesting, because authoritarianism and like not demented, but like really despicable sexual activity, they're related, and I've started to notice that. So let's go ahead and press play if I could figure out how the fuck to do it.
I don't think that it's a coincidence that so many left-wing commentators exploded in popularity in 2025, while so many right-wing influencers faded into obscurity, thus leaving a space to be filled by clowns like this. And it's probably going to get even worse for the right, because Trump's fascist project has completely failed. So the right is currently disillusioned and ideologically aimless, and they're trying to find some new cause to attach themselves to. And their new thought leaders are arriving at places that are both horrifying and comically fucking stupid. But in case you're curious about whether or not their whole being straight as gay shtick is an act or cope because, you know, they can't get laid, it's not. In fact, Nathan R. DeFord, assistant professor of government at Smith College, he wrote a really lengthy and informative piece about the psychology behind these unhinged claims, and they are so much more prominent than I thought, and I don't know what to even think about that. Nonetheless, DeFord explains, if you pay attention, people will claim many puzzling things are a sign that a man is gay: using an umbrella, drinking lemonade or even just lemon water, ordering dessert, wiping his ass after defecating, eating breakfast, recycling, and having sex with too many women too many times. Many of these things seem to have some kind of feminine signifier attached. Not wanting to get wet and ruin your hair or clothes, for instance, hews to typically gendered norms of self-care and presentation. Men aren't supposed to be concerned with their looks because they aren't subjects to be seen and appreciated, but subjects to see and appreciate. The final two might give pause to anyone uninitiated to the stranger norms of heteropatriarchal masculine sexuality, that sex with women or wanting to have sex with a lot of them is in effect gay. Now, Nathan doesn't specifically address how white...
Hold the fuck. Bruh. Okay, can we? So you are so hateful against women and sexuality. I think just sexuality as a whole, right? That you literally bend yourself all the way gay. Like how it said, you're so straight that you're gay. Yeah, like you literally like went around the earth's crust, bro, and came back around, and it because of your anti humanism, I would call it, anti everything, that you would try to avoid every single thing that wasn't white male supremacy, that you ended up being an unhinged gay man. Is that what somebody please explain this shit to me, because I'm getting confused of the fuck up in here. Because honestly, I've been sitting here on this goddamn YouTube channel, on multiple YouTube channels, trying to figure this shit out, and still can't figure it out. Because I thought they hated women, and it seems like they definitely hate women. Like, so where do women come into a part of this? Because I would actually, as a woman, like to not be a part of any of this. I would actually like to not do anything and just let the men figure it out away the fuck from me. So we can separate. Can women secede from the society of men? That would be great. But let's keep going, because it gets more interesting, because what I was just saying right now ties right into how these fascists think, and it just gets crazier. So buckle in.
One's ass is gay, and I'm assuming he didn't explain that because it's self-explanatory. And if you touch your butt, you're just gay. That's pretty simple. So I guess the takeaway is just go ahead and pull your pants right on up after taking a fat, stinky, nasty shit, fellas. It doesn't matter, if women think it's gross, because fucking them is gay anyway, and you don't want to be gay. So just take that dookie and go on about your day, kings.
Oh, no. Okay.
Would have done without my friends, family, and my therapist. I feel like the past week or so, it's been a little tough on my end, because it marked a year since my breakup. Even with all the growth and healing I've done, the weight of something that big still surfaces. Thanks to therapy, I've learned that my healing journeys.
I'm having technical difficulties. Okay. I'm so sorry about that, you guys. Like, some kind of froze, and I could tell that it wasn't showing you what I wanted it to show you. All right, let's go back. Let's just go back. Sorry about that. Let me pull that one up again. That's why I keep my doc open. I don't quite know the timestamp, but it's okay. Oh, it went right back to it. No problem. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Ugh, I hate when that happens, because I just like lose my friends, and they're like, oh, we'll come back. And I'm like, that's okay. I understand. I know I'm not the most entertaining person on YouTube, so I don't even mind. I enjoy doing this, you guys. I enjoy hanging out with my wretched friends on the internet. So I don't really mind. I just, I do feel a little lonely sometimes, but it's okay. I really do enjoy talking about these things with you guys, and the people that do show up, I'm so grateful for. All right. I think I got this shared up. I just got to add it to the stage. I keep forgetting to do that, and sometimes it's really hard to do it on this tiny ass fucking laptop. I can't even fucking see shit. You feel me? So my bad, yeah.
So I guess the takeaway is just go ahead and pull your pants right on up after taking a fat, stinky, nasty shit, fellas. It doesn't matter, if women think it's gross, because fucking them is gay anyway, and you don't want to be gay. So
rewind this.
Take that, Dookie, and
really
wanting to have sex with a lot of them is in effect gay. Wanting to have sex with a lot of them is in effect gay.
I am rewinding it because I had technical difficulties, so we're going right back to what I was just talking about.
Now, Nathan doesn't specifically address how wiping one's ass is gay, and I'm assuming he didn't explain that because it's self-explanatory. And, you know, if you touch your butt, you're just gay. That's pretty simple. So I guess the takeaway is just go ahead and pull your pants right on up after taking a fat, stinky, nasty shit, fellas. It doesn't matter, you know, if women think it's gross because fucking them is gay anyway, and you don't want to be gay. So just take that, Dookie, and go on about your day, kings. My brain can't take this. But as cartoonishly stupid as this idea is, it does intersect with fundamentalist Christianity and the notion that sexual repression and a rejection of onanism are both good things, which is...
This is where it gets really interesting. This is where it gets really, really interesting, you guys. So if you are actually interested in learning something new right now, I highly recommend that you don't click off, because this is what captured me to even do this video today. I found it to be quite fascinating. So I hope you're having a good day so far.
It's necessary for people who have authoritarian political views because, as DeFord explains, quote, sexual deviance seems particularly disturbing for the authoritarian because it can occur privately and leave no lasting evidence. You may be able to control someone's actions, but you cannot control their desires. This places the onus of psychological control onto individuals who are then responsible for managing, usually in the form of repressing, their wants. When authoritarians admit of desire at all, including the presumably traditional desire for a genital sexual relationship between a man and a woman, they open up the radical possibility of a sexuality that includes potentially anyone and everyone, any and every bodily or psychic satisfaction from pleasure to pain, and whatever lies between or outside them. This also breaks open the possibility of new norms of relationability, of intimacy, of friendship. It presents us with potentialities for social relations that are different or other than the regressive traditionalist fantasy that authoritarians hold of a normal family in which all desire can be fulfilled. In other words, all sex, excluding sex between a married couple exclusively for the purpose of procreation, is viewed as a sort of slippery slope that'll lead you down the path of degeneracy and powerlessness, which is why they're coming up with dumbass ways to reinforce that traditional structure.
Hello. Isn't that wild, you guys? I'm sorry. Isn't that wild, you guys? Like, that is... But it's like everything in a nutshell, right? It really explains a lot of the confusion that I've been having this entire year about the people in leadership. These people are all fucking unhinged gay people. They are just repressed sexually and emotionally, family-wise. They're probably abused themselves in a lot of ways. These are sick people that have not learned how to be human. I work at an elementary school, and I did, you know, have kindergartners come into my space all the time while I'm working on data and entry and shit, right? But the thing that interests me the most is that humans really do need to learn how to be human. Like, they need to learn basic human things, like being nice to people, and I don't know, washing your hands, and not throwing a tantrum, and not thinking that everything is about you. I think humans are lightweight on, like, just the bottom of the list of alien species. I really do think, I don't know. Okay, how about this? Have you guys ever seen Resident Alien, that show Resident Alien, with Tudyk, Alex Tudyk? where an alien comes down, but his ship wrecks. He was supposed to destroy Earth and the whole entire human race, but he has malfunctions, and so he ends up having to like kind of hang out on Earth for a while, and he starts to become human a little bit. Woo woo woo! But really, there's a part of the show that's really funny where you find out that the entire universe is in cahoots with each other, and they leave Earth out because we're so fucking stupid. Nah, for real. I ain't even hold you. Like that, it's literally a part of the story where they're like, oh, yeah, we don't invite Earth to any of our parties. We don't invite humans to any of our parties because y'all are too fucking stupid and y'all don't know how to handle yourselves. Yeah, we should be embarrassed. Humans should be fucking embarrassed because I feel like the rest of the galaxy or whatever, universe or whatever, they're like, humans are fucking, I know you're not supposed to use the word retard, but I'm pretty sure that's what the aliens are using to describe us right now. And it just, and amongst the human race, let's go back to the human race. Amongst the human race, men, you're not winning right now. You're embarrassing yourselves. Women are actually, I think, actively trying to find ways to like survive with like out you in the equation at this point. It's getting real bad for y'all. So I highly suggest that men start to figure out how to be attractive again, because men are like seriously repulsive right now. But let's keep going. Oh yeah, all the powerful men out there. Let's keep going. I've learned what buttons to press, and every time they do an update, it makes it so much harder. So it's never the same.
They'll say that it's gay to have sex with women, or reinforce the idea that sex with women is bad with memes like this, where they depict virgins as big-dicked chads compared to beta males who are getting laid with much smaller, less girthy penises that have been grinded down by too many vaginas, I guess, that function as pencil sharpeners of sorts. I don't know their fucking logic, but the people who share these ideas, they're very clearly lost. And part of the reason why these particular right-wing influencers are growing in popularity is because they're scooping up all of these lost men with confused and frankly dumbass ideas about sexuality, who obsess about depriving themselves of pleasure, or who can't get pleasure because they're just not successful with women. And if far-right figures are the only ones reaching out to them by pandering to them, it's not surprising to see them take the bait if they have no other options in media. And DeFord talks about how the prohibition on masturbation and sex with women, it all just kind of falls under the same broad category of gay, because it's not manly to cling to physical pleasure at all. And the opposite of manliness is femininity, and thus you're gay if you care about sexual pleasure, which is a feminine thing. So DeFord continues, as user Service Greedy puts it in a comment on the semen retention subreddit, I agree that women aren't enemies, but the idea that feeds to the culture of comfort, consuming, and pleasure is the problem, and many of these promiscuous women just so happen to like living that way. Here we see someone drawing the explicit connection that sex with women provides men with too much comfort, when men ought to be strong by relating to each other. As the same user says, iron sharpens iron, a common phrase used by practitioners of semen retention to signify that being with other men who engage in the practice will make them stronger. It's hard not to see a reflection of the common fascist line that hard times make strong men in these users. As radical psychoanalyst turned sex energy theorist Wilhelm Reich hypothesized, authoritarians believe that the maintenance of sexual control serves as a kind of internalization of authority and expression of appropriate control over the self that will make men stronger. It also serves to avoid the potentially queer outcome that maybe as a man, you enjoy touching a penis and having your penis touched by a man, in this case, yourself. As many people have asked on Reddit, would sucking your own dick be more like sucking dick, or getting your dick sucked. This fundamental confusion about whether the penis is the subject of enjoyment or the object of desire yields the dictum that one ought to never sexually touch one's own penis. In this scenario, not only does masturbation demonstrate the unruliness of desire, it also expresses both the wish to touch a man and the wish to be touched by a man. To avoid the potential surprise that he is turned on by dick, the authoritarian man simply needs to avoid touching his penis at all. You getting all that? So whether it's conscious or not, fascists and authoritarians seemingly believe that they can't dominate society unless they get their own physical desires.
Swerve, bitch. So he said, well, first of all, he said the dick suckingness of the dick and the dicklery that ensues the dickle-rye with the mouth and the dick must be dicketh appropriately. I don't know what the fuck that was, but that was the authoritarian journal of sexuality, pretty much. So basically, all this alpha male shit is all about people being extremely fucking gay. I think we figured it out. So women have nothing to do with this. I think women can just let y'all just go ahead and figure this shit out on your own, because it seems like y'all want to play with each other's dicks. So you could go ahead and do that. I happen to be very experienced with dicks. They can be quite nice from time to time, as long as they're attached to the right person. But, you know, sometimes they can be completely not worth your time. And actually shouldn't be on the planet. So if you have any questions, you can totally come to me. And I'll let you know what I think about, dicks. But it seems like y'all are a little bit more curious than I am with the dicklery, especially if women have no use to you. Then can we go ahead and do our own thing, and y'all go ahead and figure this shit out on your own with your dicks? I'd greatly appreciate that. All right, let's keep going, because this continues. It gets more interesting.
It's under control, because how are you going to control other people if you can't even control your own dick? And what figures like Fuentes and Tate are doing is ascribing an ideology to those lonely men, to where it's not just the fault of women for their inability to get laid. It's actually good and virtuous that they're not getting laid, because even if you're married, you're not supposed to be having sex with your wife anyway, unless it's explicitly for the purpose of having children. And Asmongold fulfills a similar need, albeit in a different way. You don't need to bathe or try to improve yourselves in any way. You can be a shitty, stinky person. You can be shitty literally and figuratively and just still be adored by many, just like Asmongold. It's quite the 180 from the days of Jordan Peterson, where they thought that it was good to improve yourself and clean your room. How far we've fallen, where even he seems like somebody who's reasonable these days. But I would encourage you to read Dr. DeFord's entire article, because I can only give you a small surface level understanding of the underlying psychology behind these idiotic views, without, making this into a feature length film, which I don't want to do. I don't want to talk about why they think wiping their ass is gay for like an hour, but DeFord's psychoanalysis, it does shed a lot of light on the comically absurd.
I know. If you guys heard that part where he said wiping your ass is gay, I had to double take on that the first time I watched this video, because I was like, wait, hold up, swerve, bitch. Is that also gay? I don't think I could hang out with men no more. If wiping your ass is gay, I can't fuck with y'all. Y'all are gonna kill the entire human race just because you're unsanitary, because you think sanitization is gay, and you're so anti-gay. This is what I'm talking about, this unhinged gayness, bro. Y'all are going to kill the entire fucking human race because of this shit. Keep playing around, men. Actually, no, you're going to kill the entire race of men because of this shit. Keep playing around, men. Y'all gonna fuck around because women don't need y'all to survive. We have gotten through that science part now, where there is enough sperm banks and all sorts of science and IVFs and all sorts of shit where women can survive without y'all. So I highly suggest you get it together. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, women actually have figured out how to survive for generations without men. You might want to get your act together because all this patriarchal shit has completely destroyed everything, and you should be embarrassed. Your penis should be shriveling right now because now everybody is looking at all these alpha males crazy right now, and you guys are going to be the first ones to go when everything goes to hell, because you best believe that all the black women got gay friends that will make sure that we safe. Who you got? Who you got? Don't worry, I'll wait. Don't hear shit. Exactly. Got 0 people viewing because you ain't got nothing to say. Exactly. So let's continue because this is the world of men. Let's keep going.
Absurd mindset of the far-right authoritarians dominating right-wing media and why they're becoming so popular. That being said, it might be so niche and absurd on its face that it's just not going to have that much appeal to anyone who isn't already entrenched in right-wing echo chambers. And that's why I think that the Republican establishment is desperately trying to prop up figures like Brylan Hollyhand and Scott Pressler, because the figures who are currently dominating the right at the moment, I don't think they're necessarily going to expand the conservative movement. Sure, they're more popular within conservative circles, but like a normie is going to see somebody talking about how it's gay to fuck your wife, and they're going to run 100 miles an hour away in the other direction. It's not something that's marketable, right? So what these people are doing is shoring up right-wing support. They're reinforcing pre-existing right-wing views. But I should note that these figures aren't gaining prominence because of their views on sex. They're popular because they're taking American fascism to its logical conclusion, and their hot takes about sexuality are just like a bonus to broaden their appeal to certain demographics of young men. But the primary selling point of all 3 of these conservatives that I focused on today is their unadulterated extremism. We've reached a point where right-wingers, they don't want milquetoast conservatism that's watered down. They're thirsty for outright Nazism, even if they don't realize that that's what they're getting. Fuentes, in particular, is giving conservatives an explanation as to why Trumpism failed, even after he deported so many immigrants, because he just didn't go after the real common enemy, which he believes is Jewish people. So he's simply taking Trumpism to its logical conclusion, and to an extent, Aspengold does the same thing. So I think that's why they're so popular, because if you see that Trumpism failed, then obviously that's just like the logical next step that you move towards. And I don't want to give you the impression that these new right-wing thought leaders are any less dangerous because they're so extreme and absurd, because, I mean, people do take them seriously, hence why they're so popular. But what I am trying to say is that the modern right has become so comically extreme that they are increasingly niche and off-putting to normies, which does create an opening space for the left to kind of swoop in and win over the people that they're turning off, who are both disillusioned with the system and looking for answers.
That's a great point. That's a great point. This guy needs to slow down when he's talking. I will say that, because it's really hard to catch a point I think he's trying to rush everything in too much. I think he needs to slow down because everything he's saying is on point. I just think feels like he needs to talk too fast. Anyway, but let me remove him. I agree with everything that he was saying, and I think it's just like it's I don't know what the verbiage is for it, where you kind of like make mountains out of molehills, or you just be doing too much. Like, don't do too much because it can really fuck you up. It can fuck up your whole mission when you put too much on it. You feel me? And so like I just feel bad for a lot of people that got swindled into all of this. Because it's like, damn, like a lot of people were like, damn, I thought I did like women. And now all of a sudden they got swindled into being like an unhinged gay man that hates women. And like, I can't tell you how many times I've seen people be like, I am a recovering incel because I got indoctrinated or swindled into hating women. And I'm sorry, please don't ask me to wrap my head around the thinking of it because I don't get it. I don't understand it. I'm a woman, I'm a Black woman, so I really cannot understand where any of this shit come from because I'm the one that it gets put onto. So I have a different perspective of it. But I don't know, how do you get like that? Because honestly, to me, it's weird. It's just weird as fuck. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Can you like get the fuck on somewhere? Can you like leave or something? I don't know. Like, can you like not be here? Go hang out with you white bitches or something. Like, don't you got white bitches to hang out with? I'm just gonna be over here chilling, okay? On my nothing YouTube channel, trying to spread the truth, trying to do my thing. I don't want no raggedy white bitches around me. I don't want none of that. I don't want none of this evil around me. Okay? Yeah, thank you. See, I got something, and then they left. And so it makes me feel like I'm keeping the evil away, you know? Anywho, this has just been a very interesting year for me, you guys. And I just hope that the shit that I see for next year ain't as wild as I see it being. There are a few other things that I wanted to share. Since I'm here, I'm just gonna kick it. I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna kick it live. And I don't know, just kick it with y'all. Or kick it with no one. Kick it with myself. Fuck it. Have y'all seen this one? No, we already did that one. No, that's the wrong one. Anywho. No, that's the wrong one. I want 37. Boop, boop, boop. Sorry. Like, comment, share, subscribe. How is everybody doing? I'm just looking for something on my email real quick to show you guys because I just had it. Man, I might not be able to pull it up for you, but I might. Hold on. I just like get swamped in this email. I need to organize it into something. I need a better computer as well because this is just like ridiculous. Beep, 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 beep. I'm sorry, you guys. I can't find it. But this is kind of fun. This is actually kind of fun. Let me see if I can get this going for y'all. This is how it'd be like in Oakland. If I could get it going. If I can't, then I'm sorry. Nope, it's not gonna work. This is why I need Katie. Anyway, let's just finish up our video with the last part. I was gonna show you guys some other videos, but my computer doesn't work like that or something. It just started tripping where the links that I send don't work, but it worked for Katie. Like Katie can completely pull them up. And like, so when I do the doc, it works, but for me, it doesn't. So I have a shitty ass laptop. Maybe it needs an update of some sort or something. But we'll figure that out in due time. But this is what I wanted to show y'all. So let me make sure. Share this tab instead.
Because even gay dudes, right? Even gay people are like, you know what? I want to see what his policies are.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna redo
Hinge gayness. I like that. I'm still in that. Because even gay dudes, right? Even gay people are like, you know what? I want to see what his policies are. I want to see if he's homophobic. I want to see what type of policies he's got going on, if he's for women's rights. These mofos, this is gayness unhinged. This is now like, I don't even give a fuck about his policies. He's MAGA. He's way more attractive than the other guy. Whoa, easy there. You got to cage your gayness, all right? You got to you got to cage your gayness a little bit, bro. You got to come on now. Put a leash on your gayness. It's running amok. That's fucking crazy. That's fucking insane. That's fucking insane. Yeah, I'm gonna vote for this guy because he mogs the other guy. Yeah, bro. That's
So that is a reaction to my comment that I put like while I was just kind of hanging out in the chat on Lucas's his channel is called The Amazing Lucas, and I was just hanging out there. I just put unhinged gayness because that's what I put. But that's what it is, and that's what this whole live was about, because I really noticed how gay these people are, but they're like unhinged. Like, I have very close friends that are gay and proud, and they are the most loveliest, most beautiful fucking people, the most, and they're like hella manly. They're like the most manly mans ever. Like, they are men, like good, like wholesome men, you know? They're good men. And something is going on with this like gay, ultra gay, like closeted gays are dangerous, bro. I think we need to keep an eye out for that, because look at what the fuck is happening. These motherfuckers talking about, oh, it's gay to have sex with women. I don't even know what the fuck that means. If you know what I mean, let me know. But that's what's going on in the world right now. So anywho, honestly, that's really all I gotta say for tonight. What a year. Anywho, I hope that everybody had a good night. having a good year. I really thought that this was a very interesting, and I think, Annabelle, if you don't get out the puzzle, if you don't go, okay, all right. I think that next year, 2026, is going to be fucked up. I really do. So, hope you guys know that. Don't listen to the tarot reader, but I don't think I even need to pull no cards. Next year's gonna be fucked up. So make sure that you are prepared. Make sure that you are mentally prepared, physically prepared, financially prepared to go through some fucked up shit for the next year. Anyhow, I'll see y'all next time. Keep it gangsta out there.
All I said was there's evil afoot.
Evil!